What it is, folks, how you doing? This is Joseph from the Email Method. Listen, I believe you're gonna love today's video, especially if you are a copywriter, email copywriter, marketer, or really anybody that sells anything on the internet and could sell more with emails. So check this out. Sharing my screen with y'all so I can show you a killer email I wrote. Sorry, my voice is fucking around. I wrote this email to my email list of around 4,373 people. It's more now, but this was back in June, around 2 months ago. And this email did exceptionally well in terms of open rates, click rates, and the revenue. Most importantly, the revenue it brought in. So I decided, you know what? Why don't I share this with my people? All right. Now, first things first, there's some things you don't want to do when it comes to email marketing. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to sound like everybody else. If you go on your Gmail account right now, you're probably bombarded with 3,582 emails. All of them, at least 99% of them, are probably sounding about the same. Hey, 48 hours left. Here's your discount. You don't want to do that because what happens when you send emails like this is you actively get ignored. Think of it like this. Imagine there's a really hot girl. Actually, imagine that you're a really hot girl sitting in a bar, typical movie situation, right? And some nerdy ass dude walks up to you. Hey, how you doing? I was just wondering if I could have. No, you can't. It's an automatic rejection. Believe it or not, and as ruthless as this sounds, that's how your emails are. Every time you send an email that starts with 50% off starts tonight, that's what you sound like. Oh my God, not again. That's why and by the way, this is not some shit I'm making up for the sake of you believing me. This is real research studies and statistics. Emails, vast majority of them stuck. So in this video, if you sell anything at all, you're going to learn how to sell a lot more with emails that actually get read. Now, without a further ado, let's hop right in. First part of any email ever is the subject line, and subject line makes or breaks the email. Now, the big companies, the Apple and Amazon, they don't give a shit because they're trillion-dollar companies. You should care. And by the way, they're stupid for not caring. But regardless, you can't afford to have whack ass subject lines. So if you look at my email right here, what's my subject line? Toxic lie 99% of people fall for. Now, this got 47.9, almost 50% open rates. That's a lot. Average, I think, what's the average email open rate here? Average email marketing open rate. I think it's like 20 something percent. Yeah, okay, they're 15 to 25%. Mine did almost twice the average. Why? Because the biggest part, the biggest element, the biggest variable of any subject line ever is always going to be what? Curiosity. You got to say some shit that leaves them hanging. Like, what do he mean by that? What is the toxic lie 99% of people fall for? And by the way, if I read that email, well, maybe I won't fall for it. So there's the added benefit. So, what is the formula for writing subject lines that literally almost always get opened? Curiosity and benefit. You don't, I mean, now curiosity on its own can work, but you want to throw in the benefit because when you show somebody the benefit of opening and reading your email, they're never going to not read it. So when you receive an email that says toxic lie, 99% of people fall for, and that's a very indirect subject line. Well, I want to know what is that toxic lie A and B. I want to know how I can avoid that shit. Wouldn't you want to avoid that? I want to avoid it. So you get people to open it. Now let's jump into the email. The very first sentence says, you ever heard of the 10,000 hour rule? Now, let me tell you something. The first sentence of any email that you send, unless you're sending a personal friend email, obviously I'm talking about email marketing. The first sentence has to be a good hook. Yeah, the subject line is the hook technically, but in the actual body copy, we call that the lead. The lead is the first sentence. You want to make sure that it intrigues the reader so you keep them reading. All right. You ever heard of the 10,000 hour rule? Everybody has heard that, right? some gibberish about how it takes that many hours to achieve true expertise in something, well, I've got some news for you. It's total bullshit. Now, if you're watching this video, I assume you're at least what, 17, 18 years old, right? You've definitely heard of the 10,000 hour rule. To get really good at something, you need to be doing it for 10,000 hours. Utter bullshit. I don't know who the fuck came up with it. They need to be arrested. I mean, it's total nonsense. Fucking stupid. 10,000 hours. You can become pretty damn good at something in like 100 hours. So definitely very stupid. But in this email, what I'm doing is I am debunking a myth. Super powerful type of email to send. You got an email list, what you should be doing is you should be debunking a lot of myths in your industry. And by the way, this doesn't only apply to copywriters. Let's say you're a real estate agent. What I would say is uh, misleading lie, actually, I would say the same thing. I would say toxic lie, 99% of first-time home buyers fall for. You know, you ever heard that you need a perfect credit to buy a house? Bullshit. No, you don't. Now, I don't know. I think that's true, actually, but you get the point. You can take that myth busting framework and apply it to your emails, and people will love you. All right. Now, let's go into it. It's total bullshit. Then I got this little meme here. Memes, powerful as hell. Don't forget, people on your email list, folks, are people. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to receive stupid ass, dry ass emails. Hey, I hope this email finds you well. No, they want to be entertained, motherfucker. You want to send emails that are fun to read. And I guarantee you, and again, I've worked with some of the biggest brands on earth. I've worked with some of the biggest online coaches, some of the biggest entrepreneurs. I've worked with guys like Bradley, Andy Elliott, Patrick Bet-David. I've worked with Lightspeed VT. I have sent thousands of these emails. Trust me when I tell you, one thing I know in this world is email marketing. This shit works. All right. So you throw in a little meme. So this right here, the first few sentences, that's the lead. All right. You ever heard of the 10,000 hour rule? Some gibberish about how it takes that many hours to achieve true expertise in something? Well, I got some news for you. Bullshit. Then you got a little meme here. So that right away, what does that do? That first few sentences, that sets the tone for the email. You can tell, okay, so if that's bullshit, then clearly I need maybe a lot less time to get better at something. Like it sets the vibe already, right? Next part of the copy says, that idea has been popularized by Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers, which is true, by the way. Good book, but I mean, I don't even know why he would put some misleading bullshit like that in his book. Look, I like Malcolm's books. They're thought-provoking and interesting. But you shouldn't believe that 10,000 hour crap. You shouldn't believe that 10,000 hour crap for a second. Here's why. For one, it's been debunked by actual science. Now, when you say this, you're much more likely to be believed. By the way, that's actually been debunked by science. I'm not lying to anybody here. But anytime you have proof, use it in your emails. If you're arguing for something and there's scientific proof for it, boom, throw it in there. So, for example, one thing I always say is plain, and I will die on this motherfucking hill. Plain text emails are much better and much more likely to make you more money than HTML heavily branded design emails. And guess what? There's a lot of research that backs up my claim. So anytime in your marketing emails, you have the ability to cite some kind of a research, even if it's just saying, by the way, according to science, XYZ is true. Do it. Where did we stop? Here's why. For one, it's been debunked by actual science. And two, I can tell you from my experience and the experience of dozens of copywriters I've coached, mastery does not take that long. Again, proof, right? I have personally coached. I've worked in a company where I was the lead copywriter and I had 6 or 7 copywriters working under me. I've also personally coached copywriters. So again, I am reciting my personal experience here. I mean, who the fuck actually counts how many hours they spend practicing a skill? Which, see that right there, that's called relatability. If you're watching this video, you probably have at least one hobby, unless you're a bit of a loser, right? You probably do, I don't know, rugby, football, soccer, hockey. Let's say I'm in Canada, so tons of people here. Most of my friends love hockey. How many hours have you been practicing hockey for? Who the fuck, you don't know. Who counts that shit? So again, you want to say things that are relatable, things that make people think, yeah, that's true. Like I've been doing boxing since I was 15. Never have I ever in my fucking life counted the hours I spent at the gym. Nobody does that. It would be impossible to know whether or not you hit the 10,000 hour mark. And again, by saying that logical argument, I am creating relatability with a motherfucker reading this shit. Um, an average person would lose the track after like 5 hours, LOL. Now, here's how this applies to you, especially if you want to become a world-class email copywriter. In case you couldn't tell, most of my list consists of two types of people, email copywriters and people that own online businesses who want to make more money with email marketing. This email specifically is helping email copywriters. So what does that sentence do right here? Let me highlight this. Now, here's how this applies to you, especially if you want to be a world-class email copywriter. That's a powerful sentence, and you might not be able to tell from the get, but I'm going to explain to you why. Here's the deal. This email is obviously targeting email copywriters, right? And what do email copywriters want to do? Anybody, really, anybody who wants to get better at their craft, what do they want to do? Well, they want to become really good as quickly as possible because human beings, as we know it, are very impatient, right? We want to get shit now, not 10,000 hours later. We want to get shit right this minute. So, how is this relating to a copywriter? Well, at this point in the email, he's probably, oh, no, no, no. I can guarantee you he's thinking, well, good news is I don't have to work for 10,000 hours because Joseph said so. And even better news is maybe he has a way to help me get better at copywriting even faster. Getting really, really good at something is not just about how long you've spent doing it. It's also about who you learn from. That's why rich folks are preaching about mentors, the quality of the training you receive, and how often you apply what you learn. By the way, all of the 3 points are true as shit. It does not take that long to get better at something. What matters more so than how long you've been doing it for is who you learn from. Let's go back to soccer, right? Take a guy who's been practicing soccer for 18 months from an average, half decent soccer coach, and then take another guy who's been practicing soccer for 3 months from fucking Ronaldo or Messi. That boy's going to be better because his mentors are on another level. So again, it's not just how long you've been doing something for, it's who you learn from. Second is the quality of the training you receive. There's a difference between shitty training and really good training. And then the last one, how often you apply what you learn. It's practice and repetition. These are the three things that really matter when it comes to truly mastering a skill, not some fake milestone like 10,000 hours. Now, what have I done so far in the email? I have completely, if assuming they've read so far, I have changed how they think about getting better at a skill. So I've debunked the myth. I've shifted their belief that, yeah, you don't need 10,000 hours. That's bullshit. So that's out the window. What you need is a good mentor, quality training, and practice and repetition. So I've already rearranged how a lot of copywriters think about getting better so far in this email. What's the next part? Luckily for you, the Inbox Storyteller Playbook makes mastering email copywriting incredibly easy. Now, if you're new to my brand, the Inbox Storyteller is my online course. It's not even really a course, actually. It's a playbook. It's a step-by-step playbook on writing sales emails that sell like crack in the 70s. All right. It's 47 US dollars. It's really not over the top expensive, and my people love it. So what have I done here? I have positioned my $47 offer as the ultimate solution to a copywriter for a copywriter that wants to get better without spending hours and years and all this bullshit trying and hustling. Hey, you want to get better? Well, I have a solution for you. It's you're learning from me. Actually, right, let me get into the next part. Luckily for you, the Inbox Storyteller Playbook makes mastering email copywriting incredibly easy. Number one, you'll learn from me, and I've done multiple seven figures in revenue strictly from emails. Very true. Number two, you'll get access to everything I've ever learned about writing sales emails for just $47. Boom, there you go. And I've spent thousands on courses, mentors, and books from world-class email copywriters like Chris Orzakowski, great guy, by the way. Check him out if you haven't. Ian Stanley and Daniel Throssell. Number three, this playbook is not like one of those guru courses packed with hours of mindset crap. You can access it with like 2 clicks and have every email copywriting weapon at your fingertips. If you're still interested in writing killer sales emails that actually make money, click right here. At this point, all the hard work has been done. Somebody here is either sold or they need to be sold a bit more. If they're sold, they just click the link, do their thing. If they're not sold, that's why we email them again tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that and the day after that. But let me break down to you these 3 bullet points real quick. So, number one, you learn from me, and I've done multiple 7 figures in revenue strictly from emails. What is that doing? Well, that's establishing my authority, especially if this person is new on my email list. You know what I'm saying? I've done multiple millions through the email marketing platform I have. No part of that is exaggerated. And that, well, that's a really compelling offer to a person who wants to get better at writing emails. If Joseph has done millions from email marketing, surely I could learn from him, right? Point number two, you'll get access to everything I've ever learned about writing sales emails for just $47. And I've spent thousands of dollars on courses and shit like that from the top OG email marketers. That's a great offer. I mean, you're getting insights into my skills and how I write copy for $47, even though the shit I'm teaching you, and it's true, took me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Number three, this playbook is not like one of those guru courses. Now, here's the thing. Unfortunately, in 2025, any marketing field has been flooded with these fake ass gurus teaching some bunch of bullshit, and people have become skeptical. So what you want to do in your sales email is always diffuse the objection that you see coming. So for example, I can tell that my list, or especially those that are new on my list, might think, yeah, well, I've taken some courses and I was screwed before. They charged me a whole lot of money. They never gave me the money back and the value wasn't there. I know they're thinking that. So you want to diffuse it ahead of time. And then last but not least, right here, you say, if you're still interested in writing killer sales emails that actually make money, click right here. The call to action, that's the CTA. The call to action needs to be subtle. People spend so many hours. Oh, whoa, whoa, how do I write the call to action? Folks, by the time somebody gets to the bottom of your email where you place the call to action, all the selling is done. At that point, they're either sold or they'll fold. And if they'll fold, that's okay. You just keep emailing them until they get sold. All right. That's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoy this shit. And again, watch this video a couple of times to really understand the structure of an email. You can take this email that I wrote and you can apply it to buying a house, selling a car, virtually anything that you sell. Okay.